Why, hello, Tube. Today we got Dark Knight of the Soul, St. John of the Cross. This is the Mirabai Starr uh, translation and, I guess, commentary. Um, well, let's go to the notes here for a second. Do a little background. Why? I had it pulled up. I swear. I swear I had it pulled up. My tablet's dirty. Here we go. Uh, so Mirabai Starr, she was born in New York in 1961. She's still alive. She's not dead. St. John of the Cross, on the other hand, he is dead. Uh, he was born June 24th, 1542, died December 14th, 1591. I have no idea if those dates are accurate or not. I am by far not an expert on what I'm about to talk about. So, by all means, if I am way off base, please let me know in the comments section, because I'm just going on what my understanding is, and my understanding could be way off. So, St. John of the Cross, he was a Spanish Catholic priest. He was imprisoned by somebody at some point in his life, and while imprisoned, and I'm kind of confused on whether he worked on the Dark Knight while imprisoned, or if it wasn't until after he escaped. But regardless, it was right around that time. It was either during or after, or if it was after, it was inspired by when he was imprisoned. And he wasn't treated kindly. Not at all. Not in the least bit. Mirabai Starr, her teenage years, she lived at the Lama Foundation, which, when Ram Dass came back from India, he lived at the Lama Foundation. It was at the Lama Foundation where he wrote, maybe I should say, the book Be Here Now was assembled, and the artwork was done in things. So she probably has ties with Ram Dass somewhere in the at some point. I'm sure she knew when she was really young and everything, which is kind of cool. This book originally is published in 2001. This is, I believe, and again, I could be wrong, but this is a reprint that happened afterwards, in 2003. But when the original came out, like the day that it was released, Mirabai Starr's youngest child was killed in a car wreck, I believe, which is crazy. And I guess if you're a spiritual person, you could read into that with what you will. If you're not a spiritual person, you might think, well, that's a heck of a coincidence. But that's pretty tragic. When it comes to the Dark Knight, what it is, I'm still lost. Even though, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed this read, and the first part of it, which was Dark Knight of the Sense, I got a lot out of it. It really spoke to me. The second part, Dark Knight of the Spirit, I was completely lost the entire time. Again, probably not the book's fault, probably my fault. But I actually kind of struggled to finish it just because, like, the first part of the book was just speaking to me, and the second part not so much. So, like, the Dark Knight, you can kind of think of it as like a spiritual crisis, I guess you could say, where you're just at your darkest time. and it could be the cause of so many different things. It could be loss of a loved one. It could be, basically something that was big and tragic, a divorce. You may not even realize what it is, and it's basically just something that you gotta work on a spiritual level, um, and it it can last many years. It could last a few days. You may not even get one, or maybe you've experienced them and you've never even noticed that you experienced them. And it's not just a one-time deal. Like if you have your dark night of the soul, um, you can have multiple. I mean, they can happen over and over and over again, and they often do to people. And you just each time you just gotta work through them. They'll get you get through them, and each time it becomes easier. So say if you had just a really dark time of your life that lasted a couple years, doesn't mean every time you have a dark night of the soul situation that it's going to be several years, and you just gotta stick with it. You just can't give up. You just gotta work through it, the best you can with whatever means you have at your disposal, whether it be Catholic or Buddhist or Hindu or Muslim or whatever. I don't know necessarily if all the religions, you know, believe in this dark night of the soul. Obviously, I guess if the religion doesn't believe that you have a soul, then they probably don't believe in the dark night of the soul. But even if a Buddhist, if you're going through a dark time, um, that'd be the equivalent. So, when I originally ordered this book, I was just kind of feeling down and I was working through some stuff in my noggin, and actually by the time that I got the book, I pretty much was over it, but I still read it, and I wanted to and still want to learn more about it, which I do have another book. I'm not going to read it right away, but I have it on the shelf, and next time I'm kind of feeling down for whatever reason, I'll pull it out and I'll read it and see if I can't make um, make more sense of this phenomenon in thinking. So I think that's it for this one, peeps. Dark Knight of the Soul. I can't honestly tell you if it's a good translation or not. It's the only translation I've ever read. And so, well, I should say translation and accompanying um, works. And I have no idea, too. I should add if the, so you have the poem, and I think there's multiple poems too. I have no idea if this is the only, the poem part, if it's the only part that's translated, or if the rest of the book is also translation. I have the way I was reading it was Mirabai's commentary on the poem, which for a poem that's only a page and a half long or whatever, it's a lot of commentary. But yeah, I don't know, I enjoyed it. Let me know. Have you read Dark Knight of the Soul? Um, can you suggest a better commentary on it, translation of it? Um, is this a good one? Is it not a good one? Is it the best? And I'm just wasn't picking up what it was throwing down. That's it for this one, peeps. Next Thursday's video will be on this little thing, Letters to a Young Poet, and Saturday's video will be I will be diving into the first story of A Good Man's Hard to Find by Flannery O'Connor, which is called titled A Good Man is Hard to Find. So that's what you have to look forward to in the next couple of videos. So that's it for this one, peeps. Cheers.